Hey everyone, ready for another deep dive? Today we're going behind the scenes of YouTube, exploring what makes content go viral.
Yeah, and we've got some incredible source material for this one. A conversation between Cristiano Ronaldo and Mr. Beast.
Talk about two titans in their fields. It's a rare glimpse into the minds of these global icons.
What really struck me was Ronaldo's ambition for his YouTube channel. He's not just aiming for a few million subscribers, he wants a billion.
A billion. That's a pretty audacious goal.
It is, but if anyone can pull it off, it's probably Ronaldo. And for him, it's not about vanity metrics. He sees it as part of building a legacy that extends beyond football.
It's about establishing himself as a global media powerhouse.
Exactly. And Mr. Beast actually thinks it's achievable. He suggested that Ronaldo could tap into the massive global football community.
By collaborating with other football legends, maybe offering expert analysis and behind-the-scenes insights.
It's a smart strategy, leveraging his existing fan base and expertise. It's almost like his competitive spirit from football is now fueling his YouTube ambitions.
It's fascinating to see how that drive translates across different domains. And speaking of Mr. Beast, he had some surprisingly simple yet effective tips for Ronaldo.
Like what?
One that really stood out was keeping his mouth closed in thumbnails. Seems like a minor detail, right?
You would think so, but there's actually a whole psychology behind it. Studies show open mouth expressions can come across as aggressive or desperate in thumbnails.
But a closed mouth projects confidence and control, making people more likely to click.
It's a reminder that every detail matters when you're trying to grab attention online.
Mr. Beast also had some great content ideas specifically tailored for Ronaldo, like post-game reaction videos.
Oh, that's smart. Imagine getting Ronaldo's raw, unfiltered reaction moments after the final whistle.
It's the kind of insider access that fans crave.
It's immediate, authentic, and taps into the emotions of the game.
And here's another brilliant idea. Mr. Beast suggested Ronaldo react to his own top 10 goals.
Ooh, that's good. Nostalgia, behind-the-scenes stories, reliving those iconic moments through the eyes of the legend himself.
It's a fantastic way to connect with fans on an emotional level. Now, while Ronaldo's just starting his YouTube journey, Mr. Beast is a seasoned veteran,
He's practically written the book on viral content.
and he shared that his most viral video so far was his real-life Squid Game recreation. It got over 600 million views.
That's incredible. The premise was pretty simple. 100 people in a circle, last one to laugh wins. But what really captivated people was the sheer duration of the challenge.
How long did it go on for?
Weeks.
Weeks. That's why.
It was like a real-life social experiment unfolding in real time. People were constantly wondering who would crack next, how long it could possibly go on.
It really played with our expectations and kept us hooked.
And it just goes to show the power of spectacle and tapping into cultural trends.
But now for something a little different. Mr. Beast also has this reputation for his suffering for content approach.
You mean like those videos where he spent 7 days buried alive, 7 days in solitary confinement, 7 days on a deserted island?
Exactly. Those are some pretty extreme challenges, to say the least.
It's definitely a unique approach. On one hand, it taps into our fascination with survival and pushing human limits.
But on the other hand, it raises some ethical questions about how far we should go for entertainment.
It's a conversation worth having. Where do you draw the line? What does it say about us that we're entertained by watching others endure hardship?
It's a complex issue with no easy answers. But Mr. Beast himself has acknowledged that his fans seem to enjoy watching him suffer.
Maybe there's a cathartic element to it, a way of confronting our own fears and anxieties through his experiences.
It's definitely food for thought. So we've got Ronaldo, who wants to build a YouTube empire, and Mr. Beast, who's built his career on pushing boundaries.
And both of them have to deal with the immense pressure of being in the spotlight, of having every move scrutinized.
It's the double-edged sword of fame.
It is, and they each seem to have their own coping mechanisms. For Ronaldo, it's about channeling that pressure into his work ethic, maintaining his peak physical and mental condition.
For Mr. Beast, it's about immersing himself in his channel, constantly pushing the boundaries of content creation. It's how he stays grounded amidst the chaos of YouTube stardom.
They've both found ways to thrive in the spotlight, each in their own unique way. And what's really interesting is how they both emphasize the importance of connecting with their audience, building a community around their passions.
And that's where this conversation gets even more fascinating. It's almost like they both approach fame with this sense of practicality. Like
Yeah.
they acknowledge the quirks, but they don't shy away from the downsides either.
Yeah, like when Mr. Beast talked about how much he hates flying commercial.
Right. That's not something you'd typically associate with someone at his level of success.
He even called it brutal, and Ronaldo actually chimed in and said he hadn't flown commercial in years.
It's a small detail,
Hmm.
but it highlights how their lives are just so different from most people's.
The lack of normalcy that most of us take for granted.
It did spark this funny idea, though. What if Ronaldo went undercover on a commercial flight?
With those signature Ray-Bans, I bet.
Oh, absolutely. Can you imagine the chaos? Mr. Beast even joked that the flight would probably get canceled because it would turn into this massive photo op.
Yeah, it just goes to show how globally recognized Ronaldo is.
A simple everyday activity would become an extraordinary event.
Speaking of journeys, it's pretty amazing to think that Mr. Beast has been creating content since he was just 11 years old.
15 years.
Yeah.
That's incredible dedication.
It really shows that his success isn't just some fluke or overnight thing. He's put in the time and effort to hone his craft.
It's about understanding what works, what resonates with people.
Exactly. And he's always evolving, experimenting, pushing those boundaries on YouTube.
He even shared some pretty wild stories from his early days.
Yeah.
Like that time he buried himself alive for a whole week.
In a coffin.
It's crazy, right? But those early videos, even though they were extreme, showed his commitment to capturing attention.
To standing out from the crowd.
Absolutely. And then there's the solitary confinement challenge, 7 days in a white padded room with no interaction.
No sense of time, just complete isolation.
Yeah.
It makes you realize how important human connection really is.
It does. And the fact that he endured that for a week is mind-boggling.
He didn't stop there, though. He did the Deserted Island Challenge, the Raft Challenge, even spent a week in an abandoned underground city.
It's like his early content was all about pushing his own limits, both physical and mental.
Pushing the boundaries of human experience and somehow turning it into entertainment.
And the thing is, his viewers loved it. They were drawn to those intense challenges.
Maybe there's something cathartic about it. We get to experience that adrenaline, that danger, all from the safety of our screens.
Mr. Beast even said that his fans seemed to enjoy watching him suffer a little bit.
I wonder which of those crazy challenges he found the toughest.
Well, he actually said it was the solitary confinement. That constant light, the lack of interaction, it really messed with his head.
It highlights the profound impact that isolation can have on us. We need connection, stimulation, a sense of purpose.
And yet, even in those extremely difficult conditions, Mr. Beast still managed to create content that resonated with millions of people.
It speaks to his resilience, his creativity, his ability to find opportunity in the midst of adversity.
Absolutely. Okay, let's talk about Mr. Beast's Squid Game Recreation. That video was a phenomenon, over 600 million views.
He really tapped into something with that one. It was perfectly timed, riding the wave of that cultural phenomenon.
He recreated red light, green light with 100 real people, and the winner got a whopping $500,000.
What I found really fascinating was that he didn't set a time limit for the game, he just let it run its course, which made it incredibly suspenseful.
It went on for weeks. It became this captivating social experiment in real time.
And it just kept viewers coming back for more. They were invested, rooting for their favorite contestants.
Then there's the video that got him the most views in a single day on YouTube, a staggering 70 million in just 24 hours.
That's what was the secret to that one?
He brought together some of the biggest YouTubers on the planet, put them all in a giant cube, and challenged them to a laugh-off.
A laugh-off.
Yeah, the last one to crack a smile got to give away $1 million to one of their subscribers.
So simple, yet so brilliant. You've got the star power, the novelty of the challenge, and then that added element of generosity.
It's like the perfect formula for viral success.
He even compared it to getting the top 50 football players in the world together for a challenge. It's about creating that must-see event.
It's a master class in understanding how to use collaboration and community to your advantage.
Bringing those audiences together for a shared experience.
You know what I found really interesting? Both Ronaldo and Mr. Beast seem to have the same approach when it comes to celebrating milestones.
What do you mean?
They don't. When Ronaldo was asked about hitting 1 billion followers across all platforms, he said it was a good achievement, but not a surprising one.
Like it was just the natural outcome of his hard work and dedication.
Right. And Mr. Beast said something similar. He doesn't really see the point in celebrating milestones because for him, it's all part of a larger process.
It's about constantly striving for something greater, pushing those boundaries.
And I think that speaks volumes about their mindset. They're not driven by external validation, but by this internal desire to constantly evolve and grow.
They're not resting on their laurels. They're always looking ahead to the next challenge, the next goal.
They embody the idea of continuous improvement, of playing the long game. And that drive to keep pushing It goes beyond just YouTube and football for both of them.
It's like they're both wired for that constant growth and expansion.
Like when Ronaldo talked about his water brand.
He was really passionate about the quality and making sure it was authentic.
It shows he wants to create something that reflects his values, something that lasts beyond his athletic achievements.
It's about building a legacy, making a real impact.
And Mr. Beast, with all his experience on YouTube, he essentially sees his channel as a business.
It's not just entertainment for him. It's about strategic growth.
It's about building a brand that can transcend YouTube itself.
It's fascinating to see how both of them, in their own ways, have that entrepreneurial spirit.
You're driven to create, to innovate, to leave their mark.
And they both really value that sense of community and connection. Remember how Ronaldo invited Mr. Beast to experience a live football match in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, he even offered to host Mr. Beast and his team during Riyadh season, all those cultural events and festivals. It was a genuine invitation to share his world.
It just shows that no matter how famous they get, they still value those personal connections.
It's a good reminder that they're real people, just like us.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the worlds of Cristiano Ronaldo and Mr. Beast, what's the biggest takeaway for you? What's that one insight that's going to stick with you?
For me, it's realizing that even these incredibly successful people, they still face challenges, they have insecurities.
They're not superhuman. They're just incredibly driven and passionate individuals who have figured out how to navigate fame and success.
And they both stress the importance of constantly learning, pushing those boundaries, staying true to your passions.
It's a message that goes way beyond YouTube or football.
It's about finding your own path to success, whatever that looks like for you.
It's about embracing the whole journey, the ups and downs, the challenges, the wins.
So if you were to start a YouTube channel today, what would you do to stand out? What's your unique story?
Think about what makes you different, what lights you up, what you're passionate about, and how you can share that with the world.
And remember, the best content always comes from a place of genuine enthusiasm and creativity.
Keep exploring, keep learning, keep creating. Who knows, maybe someday we'll be deep diving into your success story.
Until next time, keep those minds curious and those hearts inspired.